Hello, everyone. That's the first shot. We're here at the Electronic Entertainment Arts Expo 2011.
Yeah.
This is Spoony, of course, and I just met PatTheNESPunk, who I have a storied history with. How you doing, Pat?
I'm doing all right. I just got out of the Nintendo presentation. You were probably there as well, correct?
No, I wasn't. I didn't get in. You got to know people, apparently. I don't know anybody. But
I'm more connected than you are. That's insane.
Well, I'm not going to argue that, but like, no, I'm just kidding. But honestly, I haven't seen it. I was stuck in traffic all the way down here, so I missed the whole thing. So tell me, that's a great thing to start with. What did you see at the Nintendo conference that you thought was really impressive?
Well, they were introducing, I guess, the next run of 3DS games. There really hasn't been a lot released yet. So you have Mario Kart 3D coming out, Super Mario 3D, Star Fox 3D. Ocarina of Time 3D. But the big news was the Nintendo Wii U. That's their new console / add-on controller. They weren't really clear, at least to me, if it's a brand new console or just basically it's a huge tablet, 6.2-inch LCD screen, triggers, camera, gyroscope, touchscreen. You use it to interact with the screen itself. You can like flip throwing stars from your controller and they appear on the TV. So it has HD graphics. You had all the developers lauding the technology, saying we're going to be able to create games we couldn't before. And yeah, they showed up some really cool stuff. And it's not a kiddie console. They're showing up the new Ninja Gaiden game, blood and gore all around, new Battlefield game. So yeah, this is going to compete with the PS3 and the Xbox 360 for sure.
Well, you said you wasn't sure it's a new console. If it's HD graphics, it's got to be, right?
It has to be, but they didn't actually mention like a new Wii console. So wasn't sure if like maybe it was processing the graphics in the actual tablet controller, because this thing's sizable. So maybe somehow you could process it through there to the TV. The other cool thing was you actually can play the games just on the tablet itself, the controller, while you watch TV. You can switch back and forth. They kept saying this is for everyone, hardcore gamers, casual gamers, and I think that's what it's actually going to be. It's going to try to cut into that market, because everyone at this point already has a Nintendo Wii, so now it's time for the next console, because every 5 years or so Nintendo comes out with a new console, and we're about 5 years into the Wii's lifespan, so it's overdue.
Yeah, clearly it might have been a dumb question, because that really is the big news that almost everyone's buzzing about. Is it was just about that time. It was just about that time for Nintendo to do a new console, because the Wii was showing its age like 2-3 years ago. It was never really competitive with the graphics of the console. So yeah. This was the year people were like, you got to show us something. So the Nintendo was obviously the big thing. For me, I hate to sound like a broken record with this, because I said this last year. The game I really wanted to see, and it's been featured on this huge damn banner back there, Deus Ex Human Revolution. I am so psyched to see what they've come up with on this year. The other thing, and I know when I asked on Twitter what everyone wanted me to cover, the overwhelming response was Skyrim.
Skyrim. Heard a lot about that. Don't know much about it. I guess it's supposed to be a big hype game for later this year. I don't know, check it out. There's a demo. I'll see what it's about.
Well, you're not a big PC gamer. If you were, you'd know that that the Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, Morrowind, it's the next in that classic series of games. That's basically RPG crack on the PC.
Yeah, I stay away from the RPGs. I barely have time as is to play what I play right now, so I can't dedicate 10 hours a day to a game. But if you do, I'm not saying it's bad. Play as much as you want. I just can't.
Console gamer, big-time console gamer. You got to understand, guys. Don't hurt him. Anyway, Pat, I'm sure you're busy. It was great meeting up with you. The show's going to open about a half hour. Yeah, so I got to get set up. You got to get set up, and yeah, let me know what you think about the Wii U. It's probably going to be on the floor, or at least some semblance of it.
They have 8 interactive demos, not full games, but 8 demos using the controller in wacky ways. Like, you can magnify the screen with it. You put it on the ground. If you're playing Wii Golf, you put it on the ground. You see the golf ball on the ground while you swing. So it will kind of get developers to think of doing games in a different way.
That seems like inviting disaster for like setting your console on the ground and swinging something at it.
Yes, or if you have like an interactive porn game, that can go anywhere and look at things. I don't know.
Well, it seems obvious what the biggest news of E3 is. Everyone's buzzing about the new Nintendo Wii U, so I'd better get down there right. Oh my god, Mass Effect 3, I gotta see that. No, the Wii U. Revolutionary new gaming peripheral. It's gonna change the way kids play Batman Arkham City. Oh my god, no! I have to stay focused. Can't let myself be distracted from seeing the Wii U. It's exciting, damn it! Much more exciting than Skyrim! No! Must go to Nintendo! Must buy into shallow hype machine! Must pretend to be excited about long, stagnant intellectual properties! I mean, who couldn't get excited about Luigi's Mansion 2 or another Paper Mario? Or another Mario Party! Or a rehash of Star Fox 64. Or another rehash of Zelda. It's all It's all new and exciting. I can't wait to play another Zelda game. Wait, what? What? Japanese garden tech demo? Oh man, alright! I knew this was gonna be more newsworthy than Michael Phelps pushed the limit for the Kinect. Okay, look, I'm sorry, but I really don't know how anyone can be excited for anything Nintendo does anymore. Is there an original thought knocking around inside their heads? Has there been one in the last 10 years? 3D and motion controls are bad ideas that contribute nothing to my gaming experience except frustration and migraines, and only make gaming a more awkward, clumsy experience wrestling with semi-functional controls instead of enjoying the game comfortably the way it was meant to be played with a controller. And I know I went on this rant at last year's E3, and again, I'm sorry, but the fact that I'm here again this year looking at the exact same lineup of stale games as before, where the only thing different is another motion control tchotchke that'll barely work, should really tell you something. It's gonna be the same old games on the Wii U anyway. I am so sick and tired of seeing the same worn-out, threadbare games being trotted out year after year, recycling the same drab, dull formula to the point I can't even begin to care. Zelda is by far the worst offender, having evolved not one scintilla since the Ocarina of Time on the N64. And don't even bring up the art design of the Wind Waker, or the fact you can turn into a fucking dog in the Twilight Princess, or the fucking Four Swords adventure. That's not change. It's bells and whistles, okay? That's all Nintendo seems to know how to do to hype a game, is the equivalent of jingling keys in a baby's face. Ooh, you like Zelda? Here's Zelda, here it is. Ooh, he does a spinny spoon with his sword. Ooh, you like the hook shot. Seriously, how can you even care anymore? Who else but little kids could possibly be wowed by this gimmick marketing and the same old software? Whatever happened to storytelling? Innovation? How about basic continuity in the series? Is that too much to ask? That'd be really nice. Skyward Sword is the same goddamn game as Twilight Princess. It's the same game as every single Zelda game since the Ocarina of Time. How many times are you gonna buy the same game? It's not even metaphorical anymore. You are literally buying the Ocarina of Time again on the 3DS. How many fucking reprints of Ocarina does this make? 6? What is wrong with you people? You've played this fucking game already. You've played it a dozen times up to now. For the love of God, demand something new from Nintendo already. Oh, I'm sure the kids will love it, but why do adults defend this crap? This isn't even next-gen level gaming. This gameplay even feels 10 years old. Even with Nintendo being on the forefront of motion control, in terms of software development, it still feels like they're mired in the 90s, either unwilling or unable to come up with something fresh and new. It's all just so boring. And from what I saw at the conference, I even find it hard to believe that the Wii U will even manage to bring HD graphics acceptable to today's standard. Yeah, and you'll notice I haven't said anything about the Wii U yet. That's because really there wasn't that much to see. Basically, it's a tablet with a 6.2-inch touchscreen and controller elements. The tablet has motion controls, and the screen can display its own distinct set of information during gameplay. That way you can futz with your inventory without pausing, while playing Zelda, of course, or use the second screen like the iron sights of a gun, and I'm sure there'll be a Mario Kart game where you use the thing as a steering wheel. It's interesting, I guess, but nobody at the show was all that excited about the Wii U. Really, the response was rather muted, even in comparison to last year's announcement of the 3DS, and the lines to that were insane. This year, all they really had was a few tech demos to show off its ability to display HD footage, and a game where you use the tablet to block arrows like a shield. Not exactly knock your socks off gameplay. Now, I'll admit, there's potential here, but I think everyone was expecting something really magical out of Nintendo this year, something that kicked off a next-gen console arms race, something that threw down the gauntlet from Microsoft and Sony, and instead, we just got another motion controller and more games for our Wiimotes. It's not next-gen, it's just sort of this gen .5. Yawn.